Next question, what are your thoughts on Tokenmetrics and Market Cipher script? Are they worth it? I'm trying to find a way to get more accurate information faster to make more educated transactions. I'm tired of buying the dip and it keeps dipping even more. We have some thoughts on this. If you don't mind, I would like to go first.
Sure, go for it.
Basically, in this question, you're saying you want to make more educated transactions. That to me is telling me that you're interested in actually getting a lot of information so that you can make those decisions yourself, which I think is amazing. That's what everyone should be out for. But websites or companies like Tokenmetrics, especially, basically, they're saying they have these AI bots, they have these professional analysts and stuff that basically do all the work for you, right? And so it's not a lot of like empowerment for me when I looked over that. Obviously, I've never been a subscriber or whatever of Tokenmetrics. Ian Bellina is a whole other story for me. ICO Schiller guy. Anyway, I'm sure that people have made money with it, but for me, it's not. It's more of a hindrance than something that really enhances your own personal ability to be a professional in this space, to have the wherewithal, the knowledge to recognize patterns in this market. You only get that from time spent actually researching and doing it yourself personally for you to get a good gut instinct and, perspective of a veteran in this space, not from having a paid service do it for you and then it's like dangling a carrot in front of you. You always have to, keep paying the membership to keep getting whatever they're telling you to buy or whatever. So that's my initial reaction to Tokenmetrics.
Sure.
What do you think
And this
about
is
it?
way different than, say, our Patreon group, where it's open for pretty much anybody because it's cheap enough. And then also, we're not being paid by anybody for our coin, like our trade
we're not
updates
being paid
or whatever.
to promote any coin or anything. It's just literally what we're doing with our cryptos and when we do it.
But let's look at this. Okay, so if you go to tokenmetrics.com, under how does Tokenmetrics work, we take professional investment analysts. I'm just kidding. They're analysts, developers, and traders from firms like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and IBM, and create systems for evaluating cryptocurrencies. Screech that car a little bit back. Okay, so they're talking Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. They don't call Goldman Sachs vampire squid for no reason, guys. And JP Morgan, just go type in your Google, or I would recommend DuckDuckGo. JP Morgan fraud. Or get sued, or manipulation, or betting against their clients, or the list goes on. If you're throwing out names like that, you have zero respect in my book. I wouldn't touch this guy.
And also, I really don't see the connection between those companies and their relevancy to cryptocurrencies. They're definitely playing on the fact that they have some secret sauce that helps tell you which small cap coin is going to 10x. That's basically what Tokenmetrics is saying about themselves. They do say basically, if you don't have a lot of money to invest, don't use it. If you want to play it conservative, don't use it. And basically, so what they're saying is they're really making you rely on them for their prediction models, their AI, and all these secret things that they have. So they're not really helping you to become, an investor that can do this yourself at some point. It's like you will constantly be relying on them. So basically, if you want a good website that shows you on-chain data to analyze, one that I use a lot is Santiment. If you go to app.sandbase.net. Another good one that's free by the way. Coin Codex is another one that goes over a lot of different stuff. Also, because you are a CT Club member, I highly recommend you check out the Crypto Life Hacks category, which is found at the top of the page of the home page of that group. You'll see, live trade alerts, portfolio, classes, live streams, and then crypto life hacks is the one all the way on the right. Check that one out, and I provide you links for really helpful websites that show you on-chain data of what's actually happening with different cryptocurrencies.
And my favorite website is CoinList. We'll leave a link below. And that's where I would get into coins that haven't been out yet.
Like newer ones.
New brand new coins. They're usually pretty spot on for a lot of coins. And I think I think Solana was actually on that, and I think it was ICE, or like the initial price was around 20 to 40 cents. I forgot. I think it was around there. So yeah, like legit stuff. And you know, you don't need to pay somebody $300 to go ahead and do that. So we'll leave a link below for CoinList.
Yeah. Next question: what are the best places, lowest fees, to buy Bitcoin for larger orders that are at least $25,000 and sometimes several $100,000? For me, obviously you're talking about a centralized exchange, because those are your only hope really for that kind of level of volume to absorb a trade like that. For fees, also, you're gonna look for either the trading fees or the withdrawal fees from an exchange. Obviously, if you're working with like 25,000 or more, you're not going to be too worried about that, because it's not usually a percentage. It's just in terms of whatever coin you're trying to withdraw. So for me, I would recommend Binance, Kraken, and FTX just for volume, low fees, and security, basically, for those exchanges. Also, if you're dealing with several $100,000 trade, Kraken offers OTC trading, which is basically very customizable. If you're dealing with that amount of money on a centralized exchange, regardless if you go through over the counter, you're going to have to go through a lot of KYC. I hope you know that, whoever is asking this. You're going to have to prove the source of your funds, go through a lot more personal information. But if you do this with Kraken or any over-the-counter trades, OTC, if you do that option, you are much more likely to execute that entire trade without drastically changing the price of the coin within that trade. So basically, if you're trying to sell, let's say like $10 million of Bitcoin on Binance is going to lower the price, you're actually going to get less and less and less for that Bitcoin if you're trying to sell it. So it's not in your best interest either to do it on a public exchange. I think over-the-counter trades is a really good idea for the deep-pocketed people.
And we'll leave links below for the exchanges as well.
Yeah. Last question today, guys.
Yep.
What are your top 3 safest and most profitable ways to earn interest on our crypto after already splitting funds on Celsius, BlockFi, Nexo?
Wow, you covered it pretty well.
Well, those are the centralized options.
Celsius and BlockFi, that's pretty good. So, for instance, I'll just throw out BlockFi, which we will have a link below as well. That gives about 9.5% for USDT, and I think maybe USDC as well. So Binance gives 5 point something percent. But you just have to realize there's a reason why I think that these exchanges give higher percentage. I think it's because it incentivizes people to go on their network, and it is quite a bit of an incentive, especially when you're giving a 4% higher API than another centralized exchange.
Yeah. But keep in mind, those are yearly percentages, and they are definitely subjected to change. They have changed plenty of times at the whim of that platform. So
I'd expect it to drop dramatically during a bear run, because a lot of people are going to be in cash.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But also this whole concept of safest and most profitable, usually those are very polarized aspects. You're either going to want it the most profitable, but it's going to also be the most risky. And the safest is, ironically, usually the least profitable. One option that I think is really good, I'm going to do a tutorial on this, is using Aave, which is a decentralized lending and liquidity pool offering platform, and you can use this on Matic, which is a second layer solution for Ethereum. So instead of all those fees that you would normally be paying according to the Ethereum fees and the blockchain bloat that happens there that would eat away at any profits you could have earned on Aave, you can do the same protocol, trade the same coins, but on the Matic network, and it drastically reduces the fees and you can keep more of your profits. Another really cool thing about Aave is that you can deposit coins there to be lent out, basically. It's deposited into a smart contract, which is what makes it actually DeFi and not CeFi like BlockFi, Celsius, Nexo. Aave is actually decentralized finance because you're depositing your coins into a smart contract, and that means that no one can take out those coins unless they have control over the wallet that you use to make that deposit. The coins can only ever be returned back into that wallet. And so anyway, you can deposit coins into that smart contract, earn a percentage based on whatever the market is saying for like the market demand for borrowing. You earn a percentage on what you've deposited. Also, what you can do is use what you've deposited to use as collateral for a loan that you can take out, and you can do this simultaneously. So let's say you're lending a coin and at the same time you want to take out a loan. Whatever you've deposited, you can use as collateral, and whatever percentage that you're earning from lending can offset the percentage that you would have to pay for that loan that you've just taken out. Obviously, the loan that you've taken out is going to have a higher percentage than probably what your lending is, but it can, like, that could be actually a winning idea for those of you who want to pursue this concept of collateralized debt, of accessing the liquidity of your coin without actually selling the coin. I think that could be a winning idea. Anyway, I'm going to be covering how to use Aave on Matic in a tutorial coming up next week, so keep an eye out for that one. That's going to wrap it up for today.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Stay disobedient. Don't follow the sheep. Follow us instead.
And if you want to be more interactive with us and see what we're doing with our crypto, like we've talked about a lot today, check out the CT Club. A link for that is down below in the video description.
And also check out Heidi's free newsletter.
Yeah.
It's every week at learningcrypto.com.
Cool.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.